Hi, good afternoon. I'm Nicolette, a singer and hobbies explorer. Today I'm going to talk about some interesting takeaway points from reading the first quarter of the book Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. How a slowdown spirituality, simplifying our life around abiding is important in apprenticeship to Jesus. To adopt Jesus' lifestyle is to always have space for God in love, joy, and peace. For people in love, understanding, and compassion. Be rooted in the moment, in constant enjoyment of God's presence with us and in us. Love takes time. Hurry doesn't have it. Hurry ruins love and wisdom. Choosing Jesus' yoke is to learn the enforced rhythm of His grace, offering us a balance and develop a new way to carry life and bear responsibilities that offers us real rest. Keeping company with Him will enable us to live freely and lightly. The goal of apprenticeship to Jesus is to be with Jesus, be like Jesus, and to do what He would have done. The whole point of apprenticeship to Jesus is to model all of our lives after Him, and in doing so to recover our soul, to have the warped part of us back into shape, to experience healing in the deepest parts of our beings, to experience what Jesus called life to the full. This is what Jesus is all about, healing people, saving them at a soul deep level. The key task of apprenticeship to Jesus is to live out both our potentials and limitations. We are made from image and dust. We are made in the image of God. We have the divine's capacity in our DNA. We're like God. We're made to image His behavior, to rule like He does, to gather up all the raw materials of the planet and reshape them into a world so that human beings can flourish and thrive. We are also made from dirt. We're born with limitations. We're not God. We're finite, not infinite. We're mortal, not immortal. Image and dust, potentials and limitations. So reaching out our full potential is to step out, risk it all, have faith, chase the dream God put in our hearts, become the technicolor version of who we were meant to be. We find God's will in both our potentials and limitations. We can't do it all. We don't have omnipresence. The solution isn't more time, it's to slow down and simplify our lives around what really matters. I also like how the author talks about how our modern world, with its digital advances and consumerism culture, also known as distractions and addictions, are virtual conspiracy to internal life, to what really matters more, our emotional health and spiritual life. So how do we slow down, simplify, live deliberately right in the middle of the chaos of the noisy, fast-paced, urban digital world we call home? The solution is to follow Jesus. I also like how the author talks about in the beginning a brief history of speed, that back then, before the invention of the public clock tower in 1370, people used to follow natural timing. We go to bed with the moon, get up with the sun. And in doing so, the rhythms of our work and rest are under the control of God until the invention of clock. People follow artificial timing, we ignore our bodies and the natural time, it stops resting. We become more efficient and less human, as the author specified. And then in 1879, Thomas Edison invented light bulb, which made it possible for people to stay up past sunset. It's no wonder we are exhausted. I also like how the author talks about how technology must never be accepted as part of the natural order of things, even IQ tests. They are products of particular economic and political context that carries with it a program or agenda that may not be life-enhancing, and therefore requires scrutiny, criticism, and control. Back to adopting Jesus' lifestyle. So Jesus displayed a slow and hurried life. His joy, his restless peace through uncertainty, his unanxious presence, his relaxed manner, and how in the moment he was. The rootedness in the moment, connectedness to God and with other people, he made sure to inject a healthy dose of margin into his life. By margin, it's a space between our loads and limits. Jesus' weekly schedule is a prophetic act against the herd rhythms of our world. He would regularly get up early and go to a quiet place to be with his Father. He would leave before dawn just to be alone and greet the day in the quiet. Sometimes he would go away overnight or for a few weeks at a time just to get away from the crowds and gather himself to God. Any chance he got, he would enjoy a nice long meal with friends over a bottle of wine, creating space for in-depth conversations about the highs and lows of life. He lived freely and lightly, free from all of the discontent and distractions of all the necessities of the world. He put on display an unhurried life where space for God and love for people were the top priorities. He sought the kingdom of God above all. I also love how the author talks about a rule of life as a schedule and a set of practices to order our life around the way of Jesus in the community. It was a way to keep from getting sucked into the hurry, busyness, noise, and distraction of regular life. A way to slow down. A way to live into what really matters, what Jesus called abiding. Key relationship with family and community. The work God has set before us. A healthy soul. Like a trellis is to a vine, a rule of life to abiding is a structure to facilitate health and growth of apprenticeship to Jesus. I also like how the book talks about realism, seeing life as a succession of burdens, that life is hard. We cannot get away from them, but Jesus doesn't offer us an escape, but an equipment. An easy life isn't an option, but an easy yoke is. That's about it for now. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you were enlightened by some of the key points that I shared. Have a good day ahead. See you. Bye.